Kelp forest by Heliopolix. Heliopolix? Heliopolix. Heliopolix. Whatever. Normal Sudoku rules apply, normal thermal rules apply, normal German whispers rule apply. Whisper rules apply. Cells separated by an orange not different by the same value. The solver must differentiate, determine the value. Not all doctrine are given, necessary given. Okay. So, that's a long thermo. That's a decent sized thermo. These are all German whispers. So first of all, to recognize something, suppose that orange is a relatively low value. If this is high, then these are high, and then these are high. Same thing. So like if orange, for example, is a 1, if orange is 1, and these are whatever high value 6, 7, 8, or 9, and this is the small value here, so 6, 7, 8, or 9. Well, then this value has to be 6, 7, 8, or 9 as well. It could be 5, but 5 can't be on that, so it could be 6, 7, 8, 9. Same idea here. Same idea here. But you can't have 6 all high, and the exact same logic applies to low as well. Which means we know that orange can't be 1. That's a good start. Okay, cool. Could be 2. Well, if this is high, then this could, in theory, skip to low if it was a 6-4 pair. So, like, it could be 6, 4, 1, 9 or something. And then 4, 9, 1. And then, like, 3, 8, 2. There, and that totally works. So, a difference of 2 is doable. But if it's a difference of 2, then there has to be a 4-6 pair somewhere here. And if it's a difference of 2, there's got to be a 4-6 pair here by the exact same logic. So let's suppose that this is 4-6 here. Could this ever be 6-4? Yeah, I don't see why not. Because this could be 9, 7, 6, 8, or something like that. That's a 1. That has to be 2. But because... Oh, actually, interesting discovery that I just made off the top of my head right now. So there has to be... So, I mean, I didn't do this correctly because it wasn't that. Because there's a 4 and a 6, no matter what, somewhere along this line, that means there always must be a 1 and a 9 somewhere along these lines. So those have 1 9s in them, which means there isn't a 1 here. Nor is there a 1 here. Note there could be a 1 there, because you could have the X-wing of 190 here. The only thing we have is the row here, which means this can't be a 1. Notably, actually, the 4-6 has to be in those, which means there must be a 4 or 6 here, here. Which means these are actually a 1-9 pair. And then we have the other one somewhere up there, which means that's not a 1 or a 9. Which, I mean, obviously, it's not a 1 or a 9. It's not a 1, rather. And then we have this differentiation here. This has to be a low value, doesn't it? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So that's the... It could be at lowest a 5. See, this is all assuming this is a 2. But it might not be a 2. It could be bigger than a 2. So what about here? We've got... Whoops. So whatever numbers are missing from here must be equidistant. So if the number 1 is missing, then actually, yeah, what numbers could be missing from this chart? Well, if the number 1 is missing, we could put it here. If we put a 1 here, then this means that we have to be missing a 9 here. Because then this goes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, because we could have an 8, and this could end up being a 9. So we could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 8, and that still works. I mean, of course, it can't be a 1, but I was looking to see whether there's any restrictions, and there really aren't that many restrictions on that. There has to be there doesn't even have to be a mirror effect on this, because it doesn't have to mirror in the same direction necessarily. Oh, geez, okay. This is a tricky one. Hey. Actually, that does tell me a lot, because we know that this has to be at least 2, obviously. But now we've gained some more information, because if it is exactly 2, then this has to be a 3, 5 pair. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which doesn't work, because there's already a 5 here. Sorry, it's 3, 4, and breaks this. So it can't be a 2. Okay, so they could be at least 3. Could this be a 6-3 pair? 3, 4, 5. Actually, could this be a 3 anything pair? If it's a 3, this is going to go through 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This can never be a 3. Now there's a 2, we have a degree of freedom. So that something in here will be skipped over. But that also means, I think, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ah, wait a moment. So if that's a 2, there has to be a 1 over here. Which means it had to be like a 2, 8. It would be like a 2, 2, 9, 1, 8, and that would work. And that's basically all we'd have. Interesting. Well, this is a 5, then this is a 4, 3. If that's a 5, this has to be a 1. So you can't have a separation of 3 either. It has to be at least a separation of 4. And given that it has to be at least a separation of 4, we know that this does successfully toggle these. Which means 4 of these will be all the high values, and 4 will be all the low values. So yes, it has to be at least 4. We know it will swap high-low. So these values, these values must have the same parity. As that. This, well, if they're green, then green has to be low. Ah, interesting. Okay. So, no matter what. Yeah. So, this is weird because the, the if this is the same, they can't be high, right? If they're different, then at least one. So there has to be at least two low values among those. Among these, there must be at least two low values. Okay. Well, okay. This is interesting. Because if these are the same, then these are the same too. And then one of these is a 5. It goes like 3, 4, 5, or 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The flexibility here. Ah, but with all the low values here, this has to be opposite parity. So this has to be a low value. But it can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if these are all the exact same, they can't be low. Could it all be high values? Could these be red? Well, if it's red, if red is if it's still red, but it's all high values. Sorry, if they're low values, because I just did the case where they were high values, so I had to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it goes 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm missing 3, 4. Which you can't put here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these do actually have to be opposites. Okay. Interesting. So this has to be red. Well, actually, yeah, because it has to separate by. Actually, no, because it doesn't have to be red because it's not necessarily on one of these lines, so it could be 5. So these must both be high values. In fact, these must be the same value. Found somewhere there. Well, actually, because this has to be separated by at least 4, this still has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, no matter what, because it's high value. If it separates by at least 4, this can't ever be a 5. So green must be low. Red must be high. This could have a 5. Because of that, I'm going to remove the coloring. Okay. Little progress, little inches. We have at least 4. Can we prove that, like, can't be 8, for example? Yes, very easily. Because then this would be a 1919 pair of breaks. Okay. Could it be 7? 1, 8, 2, 9. No issue. Usually when they get closer to 5, when there's smaller difference between them. So it's a 4, 5, 6, or 7 difference. Well, given that that is at least, oh yeah, 4, 5, 6, or 7 difference. That's exactly what we have with the 1, 2 pair here. The 1, 2 with 5 here. If we do 1, 5, let's suppose we start with 1, 5. Then we have 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. You're going to have one of these high numbers separated by 4. So it'd probably be 8 minus, well, that's the thing, is if we skip a number, that's going to be 5. 5 minus 4 is, or 9 minus 4 is 9. 9 minus 4 is 5. Which means this can never be a 1, 5 pair. You already know it can't be a 2, 5 pair, so that can't be a 5. I don't know, I did that. That was a mistake. So it has to be, the pair could still be 4 apart. 2, 6. So if this is a 9, separates by 4, you got a 5. 2, 3, 4. Ah. Interesting. So if this is a 1, if this is a 2, 6 pair, then we have to go 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and that has to be 1, because we skipped out on the 1. So if there's a 2 here, we have to put a 1 there. Which means you need a difference of at least 6. It means that 8 or 9. If we say it's 8, that can be a 7. It's a 9, that can be an 8. But that works. Okay, is there any world where this is a 1? Well, if this is a 1, 6, then this will have to be 2, 3. Well, that's an interesting question then. What does this have to be? Whatever we skip over here has to go there. It's got to be a difference of 5. So it's got to be either a 2 or a 3 or a 4. It's got to be 4. Difference of 5, everything works out. So difference of 5 is doable. And difference of 4 is doable. These numbers differed by 7. No, still doable. This is tricky. Well, this can't be a 4. Well, that can be a 5. That's green, red. Turn off my desktop audio so I can listen to music and not, There we go. Much better. Think about fun. Um... Ah. This can't be a 5. If that's a 5, then these all need to be green, and we have too many. Could this be a 6? No. Because that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 septuple. That's pretty funny, actually. Which makes this confidently red. Now... If this is red, that's red. That's red. And I don't see any issues here. Be red or 5 is what I mean, yeah. If this is red, if that's a 6, that's a 9. Well, one of these have to be 4, which means one of these has to be 9. One of these has to be 1 for the same reason, because one of these has to be a 6. Which means this can't be a 9, which means this can't be an 8, 7, 6, 5. That's confidently green now. That means this can't be 5 or lower. Because if this is 5 or lower, then we've got this in here. So that's a confident red. That's really funny. None of these can be 6s. Because both the ones attached to it have to be a 1. None of these can be 4. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One off of getting if I can somehow make sure that's not a 4, then I'll have a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no, because that has a 4 as well. Third issue, that's a 4. The world where that's a 5. Well, these have to be the same. Um, well, let me just put these as necessarily green. These are necessarily red. Ah, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 5. That's 5. Cool. So that's a green. That's a green. That's a red. That's a red. This can't be a 6 because that can't be a 5. Um. So this could be at minimum of 5. So yeah. So if this is a okay, I look at the possible situations. 9, 2, 8, 1. 8, 2 breaks. Because if that's not a 9, that is. Seven, 2. Well, if that's a 2, then that has to be a 1. If that's not a 9, that has to be a 9. So we want the 1 here, and we don't. And we might want the 9 there. Because if that's a 1. Okay, no. Let's do every combination. 7, 1. That's 2. That works fine. 8, 1. Oh, no, it's not. That's not fine. If that's 7, 1, that has to be 9, 2, because the 9 has to go somewhere here. And that breaks. Could it be 7, 2? No, it can't be, actually. Because no matter what, that's a 7, then if it's a 7, 2, that's a 1, it breaks. If it's 7, 1, that has to be a 9, it has to be a 3, and it breaks. Oh, no, it doesn't break. Oh, so yeah. 7, 1, 9, 3. And that's fine, because I can do 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. That works totally fine. So So I'm just gonna write every combination. Here we go. 7 1 makes 9 3. If that's 7, that's 1. If that's 7 2, 9 4. And that works. 5. 8 1 makes 9 2. And then now the question is, can this ever be a 1? And if it can be a 1, then we just do that. So 1 7 2 8. Yep, works fine. So we just know that that's a 1 2 3 4. I don't think there's any restrictions on, because the 9 can go there. 9 2 and 8 1 just work. Unfortunately. There's this weird symmetry. If that's a 1, then that isn't, which means this is. Which means one of these are. Huh. If this is 9, now if this is 9, then one of these are 9, which forces that to be a 9. Let's go through this quick line of logic to see if this works the way I think it does. So that's a 9. One of those are a 9. That forces this to be a 9, which means this can't be a 9, which means this has to be... Well, we have to skip over another number, and you can't put... Yeah. Because whatever number isn't here has to go out here. So that has to be an 8. 7, 6, 5. This would have to be 2. That has to be 1, 3, 4. And that just works. One of these has to be a 4. Ah. It breaks. Because 2, 3 has to go here. And you can't put 2, 3 there. So there has to be the 4 here, because that has to be a 9. But it can't be the 9, because it's predicated on that being the 9. Which means that can't be the 9. Which means this must be the 9. Which means this has to include the 4. Which means neither of these are a 4. One of these is a 4. If this is a 4, then it's a... Oh no, wait a moment. If that's a 4, that has to be a 9. But this doesn't work. That can't be a 4. That's a 4. Yeah, there's... Okay, let me just quickly show why I think that's true. If this is a 4, we know that these have to be at least... Oh, they could sum... Yeah, so basically, with 2, 7 here, we know they have to sum to at least 5. Because that's the closest that can possibly be. So given that, the lowest possible sum here would be difference will be 5, which has to be a 9. But the only way that works here is if that's a 2 and a 7. So this is a difference of 5. That's a difference of 5. And you can't put 5, 6, 7. Because you can't put a 1 anymore in this entire line. And it breaks. Because if you put a 4 here, you have to put a 1 here. But if you put a 1 here, you can't have the difference of 5 you need. So that can't be a 4. Which makes this a 4. Which means none of these are 4s. Which means there must be a 4 somewhere here. Little jumps. This is a green. Which means that has to be a red. That's a green. That's a red. Because we already have all the greens in this column. That can't be a 4 because of this. Well, 5 can't go outside, so it's got to be here. 6 can't go outside, so it's got to be there. So every number is missing there has to go here. Whatever number is missing here has to go there. Cool. Hey, I think there's probably a symmetrical thing with the 1, 2, 3s. But it doesn't jump out at me. Well, let's explore that line. So this would then have to be... Oh, okay. Because it's a 2, 3, this has to be an 8, 9. And that breaks. So once again, that can't be a 1. This is the 1. Which means this has to be where the 6 is. Which means 6 can't go there, which means 6 does go here. Which means we can remove 6, 7, 5, 6, 4, 5. Which would make these confidently green. This becomes confidently red. Use purple to show which ones are 5s. One, two, three, four, 5. So this has to be strictly greater than this. So it's 5, 6. That is strictly red again. Da, 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 da. Okay, so these are the same number. 6, 7. That can't be a 7. Ah, there's 6, 7, so that can't be a 7. That's an 8. Or is that to be an 8? Make that a 9. And that's a 6. Looks like to be a 7. Okay, little inches now. And this obviously can't be a 6. I should have... That's a pretty good inch. We don't have anything guaranteed yet here. We still don't have that locked in. 1. That's a red. We've guaranteed all the reds, so those both have to be green. Forces that to be a red. So this has to have a 4. Hmm. So it has to be at least 5. So it is actually polar opposites. Anything on here have to be opposites. Can't be 5. That's a red. That's a green. That's green. These have to be the same thing. So that can't be a 5. That can't be a 1. That can't be a 2, 3. And since it's at least that, it has to be at least a... Yep. That can't be a 6, 7, 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which means that can't be a 4, 5. Yeah, so one of these are a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6, 7. Yep. Cool. Did I actually gain anything from that? Was that just like coloring things and getting that like slightly narrowed? I don't think I actually got anything from it. Like, that's a purple or green. Okay, well, I know there has to be a purple green here, which means this can't be a 5. Okay, that is a green. That's at least something. This is a purple green. But it can't be a 1. And this can't be a 5, which forces that to be an actual green. That's an actual green. That's an actual... Oh, no, that's a green purple. But now we have all the green purples here, which means that has to be a red, specifically a 6. And now these all have to be purple greens. Because that's a green. That actually has to be purple. That can't be purple, so it can't be a 5. That can't be a 4. Means that can't be a 4. One of these has to have a 5. Okay. Little bits, little bits, little bits. Well, that's a red. Well, this has to be a red. This can't be a purple because it's on a line end. It's on the opposite side of this. This is a... explicitly a red because it has to be somewhere there. So this is... So so this can't be a 5. So this has to be our 5. Because if it's a 5, you can't put a green here. This can't be a 2. So that means this is 5. Which means these have to be hard reds. That's a 7. That's a 6. That's a 9. And since this can't be a 9, this can't be an 8. So that's a 7. That's a 6. That's an 8. That's a 9. They differ by 7. 1 8 or 2 9. One 8 2 9. That's awesome. I think that's all of them. Well, now I can have the whole thing begin to collapse. It's a 3. That's a 7. That's a 3. That's a 7. 4. That's a 3. That's a 2. That's a 5. That's a 4. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. Which means this has to be the 5. Which means that's just a normal 3-4 pair. That's a 1, 4, 3, 5, whoops, 3, 4, 1, 6, 7, 9, 4, 6, 3, 4, 7, 7, 3, 6, 9. There we go, and that's the puzzle done. That was a solid puzzle. I quite enjoyed that. We fill everything appropriately. I think that's everything correct. Good puzzle, Kelp Forest. Heliopolis, that was a really solid puzzle. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Good puzzle, I liked it.